Evianna is actually on her way with her guards to go collect Volke to take him to the coliseum to speak with Lyvia.
And that brings us into chapter 54. Only one will survive. So Volk, making his way into the arena, he shadow steps through the gates to enter.
He acts like it's nothing. No worries, just breaking and entering. I know everybody's supposed to wait in an orderly line outside, but don't mind me because I can shadow step.
It's just another Tuesday, Yep. So Evianna gives Volk a giant book on Tales of Heroes, and she found this one particular story in it where someone pretended to give up only to come back later and be even stronger. And given Lyvia's and Volk's fascination with these stories, she wants Volk to go and share this story as a reason why she shouldn't participate in the match. So Volk goes to talk to Lyvia, and as soon as he shares the story, she knows this is Evianna's doing, and she asks Volk what his intentions are, and he tells her that she's going to go through with it and that he isn't going to try to convince her to do anything otherwise.
I imagine Volk's feeling pretty guilty about this, though. Whether or not he thinks that she can survive, I feel like either way, he's kind of sending her out to her death. He's kind of preparing himself for that, and the fact that he knows that there's nothing he can say or do to try to convince her out of this, that he probably feels pretty low about.
Yeah, he's between a rock and a hard place with this one. On one hand, he knows that he would be doing the same thing. He's not going to try and convince her to do something he wouldn't do, but he also knows what the likely outcome of this is. So Lyvia talks about the trial some. She views it almost as being about sacrifice, and Volk is comforting her, and she requests that if she does win, she wants Volk to be her knight.
More like her knight in shining armor.
And if she loses, she wants him to spend time with Evianna.
And he agrees, but why didn't he stop her to steal a kiss? Like, this is one of those moments of it could be the last time he sees her.
He should have. He is not about seizing the moment in these situations.
I'm sure Fane would be very disappointed if he were there at the moment.
Yes, definitely. So the fight starts, and there's no cheering as everyone steps into the arena. The crowd knows that one of them is going to end up dead. As they start fighting, Lyvia is able to get a few small hits in. She's actually doing pretty good and nicking and kind of cutting up Rishan, but she ends up twisting her ankle. And as soon as that happens, she really starts to take a downturn. So she gets bashed with the sword. Evianna screaming for everything to stop. And then finally, Rishan takes Lyvia's sword and kills her with it.
This is one of those moments, just like in Nightmare Arcanist, the very beginning with the Phoenix Travelworth, that I absolutely fell in love with this series all over again. Not because I'm masochistic and wanted Lyvia to die. I mean, quickly put that in there, but because, again, we're sitting here thinking, okay, there's no way Lyvia is gonna die. Like, she's gonna pull through. Shami's gonna write it so that she pulls through, and we're gonna continue from there. And she doesn't. And like I said, my mind was just absolutely blown. I was crying reading this because I just couldn't comprehend it.
I did the same thing. I had to pause, and I was like, wait, she died? That can't be right. Like, she wasn't going to pull some trick move out of nowhere and kill Rishan.
Like this actually happened. I mean, they said that there was a bell that signified that she was finally dead, and I think I had to reread it because I was like, there's no way I read that correctly that she died.
Yeah, there's no happy ever after with her and Volk, that's for sure.
Very, very unfortunately, because I think they would have been very well together. But again, this is one of those just re-solidified how much I enjoy the series because of the fact that you don't get the cookie cutter, the usual outcome. So All right. So we do want to thank everybody for listening today. We want to remind everybody that we do post a new episode every Wednesday morning around 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, 10 Central, and 8 Pacific. And I'm sorry for those that live in Mountain Time. It's too difficult to keep track of what time you guys are at. So
They never get any love. It's always Central and Pacific.
Well, like if you live in Arizona, they don't go with daylight savings time. So
yeah, they're on their own schedule.
I digress. So we are on all podcasting platforms and on YouTube Music as well, along with the Google Podcast that is no longer a thing. We are on YouTube as well for videos, and we do want to thank our editor Dan Mackison for including pictures and links to everything. Does a really great job with it, adding extra to include additional information and to make this a little bit easier, a little bit more bite-sized for everybody. We do also have like each chapter released every day afterwards, so it's a little bit easier to listen. We do want to thank the Frith Chronicles Wiki as a great resource, and again, it's been recently updated, so check that out. If you want to reach out to us, we are on Gmail at frithguildpod@gmail.com or on Facebook or any other social media, essentially, at Frith Guild Podcast. And finally, links to everything is down in the description section for both podcast and YouTube. In 2 weeks from this podcast posting will be the interview with John Stovall, which is Shammy's husband. He's his own author and has his own series that we're going to talk to him about, along with kind of being there, seeing Shammy work on the series as well. So, Scott, did you have anything else you'd like to add today?
No, looking forward to seeing how the rest of this party goes. So,
all right, next week, make sure you got your seatbelts buckled in because we're going full throttle the whole time. So we'll see you guys next week.